disgrace! Fucking disgrace!
Slashing his tire.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Hey, Segovia, back with another video. Hope everyone out there is having a good day. Hope y'all been having a good weekend, y'all. Yesterday was a nice, relaxing weekend. Didn't really check a lot of goals off of the checklist, right? But today, it's time to get after it. First up, start with the video, y'all. Hope you guys enjoy it. We ain't gonna do too much talking. We got a lot to do today. I'll get into all the plans I got today and made a big purchase, y'all. I'm excited to share that with you, but we'll save it for the end of the video. Enough with the chit chat. Let's do what we all came here for. Let's get into the video. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
How much is in your checking account right now?
I have negative money in my checking account at the moment. So, yeah.
I get that you're unemployed, but
Yeah.
but why is there negative money?
Because I've still had bills to pay. Like,
No. You got laid off, right?
I did.
Did you file for unemployment?
I did, but I'm being investigated. So, yeah.
For what?
I
about?
called the unemployment office. I said,
Okay, they're
"Please."
investigating you?
Yes. So one of my old jobs was like not agreeing to the terms that I was not employed there anymore.
What?
Yeah.
They're not agreeing to the terms that you're not working there anymore?
Yeah, even though I put my 2 weeks in.
They are
But
claiming that
I
you work
will
there.
Yes, but I will say I just got approved for unemployment. I'm just waiting for the debit card to come in.
You're negative in your checking account. You still
Yes.
So you didn't have an emergency fund?
I did not.
And not having an emergency fund is an emergency.
I am firmly convinced that people don't fucking have jobs anymore. So yesterday, which was a fucking Wednesday, in like the middle of the day, I wanted to go hit the pool. And it was completely packed.
Crazy.
And like not with kids that are off school, but like adults, working age adults. Like it's 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. Why are you not at work? And yes, I know I'm being a fucking hypocrite about this because it's 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. Why am I not at work? But there can't be that many people that have my job. Like I understand what I do is not super difficult, but there can't be that many people. There can't be like my entire community can't be doing the same job as me. Like, does anybody have a real job anymore? Is there anybody going to work at like 9 and working till like 5? Like, is anybody going into the office? I don't think so. Because they sure as fuck ain't in my community. No, they're not going to work. They're not going anywhere except for the pool. Fucking 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'm tempted to go down to the beach and see how packed it is there. I mean, it's Thursday. I think it wouldn't be, but now I don't know anymore.
And as
He thought he was going to have the pool all to himself on a Wednesday, took his towel. He got there, it was packed. But I see it all the time, y'all. I always wonder, what are the people doing? Like, they got the brand new Ford F-150 Raptor. That thing's $100,000. Like, with the brand new license plate, the dealer plates on the back, right? You know, I go to a restaurant on a Wednesday or something. It is packed. I'm like, what does everybody do? You know what I mean? Because I remember it used to be dead out during the week, y'all. But now it's like packed traffic and all that.
If we have a responsibility, I'm not just going to bring a case.
That's there. That's there.
And that's not the sun. That can't be the sun because the sunset is over there.
That's a planet.
The sunset is over there.
Mm.
And the moon is up here.
So that must be a planet.
The moon is above us.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
That's there.
Can they run? The heck? What are you guys doing if you drive by that? It's scarier than a cartel checkpoint. What do you get accused of, y'all? Little ones? Yeah, hell no. Is that window down? Or put that window up. It takes 10 seconds to go up, and this guy's on your ass in less than a second. That's about as close as you can get to a mountain lion, though. Beautiful cat. Just wouldn't want to cross paths with it. Chaos in LA, y'all. Seems to happen in these democratic states, cities. So much division in those cities, y'all. So much. I see it because I'm in a chill spot where I'm at the border, where you would think this would be going on because people are getting affected by it big time. These are all young kids, y'all.
Like, he just keeps getting shot. And he
Yeah,
just
this
doesn't
dude's
care.
crazy.
He just keeps getting shot, doesn't care at all. Dude's been hit at least like 9-10 times. They're shooting him with less than lethal pellets. They still hurt like a mother. All right, it looks like LAPD is now on the other side. I see a lot of protesters starting to run. This is what is called kettling. Somebody just mentioned they might be kettling right now. So basically, there's really no way out. There's police on the left. This is a one-way street, really. You've got police on the right over there. And obviously, you've got federal agents here. If these people fail to disperse, that bird up in the air, LAPD is telling people to disperse. This is
Piece of shit! Fuck out of here! Get out of here! You suck! Nazis! Get out of here! You're a disgrace! Fucking disgrace!
Slashing his tire.
Get out of here! Yeah! Get out of here!
Like, I don't know what that accomplishes. They're just people out to start trouble. Like, do you think the people that are up for possible deportation, do you think they want that? Because all this is doing is making the ICE agents, is making the people that support that deportation thing hate us as a people even more. At least that's what I think. I think if I was like on the verge, like I could get deported any day if I get caught out in the street, I wouldn't want to see this. Like, you guys are just making it worse for us. You're not helping. You're not protesting. That's not protesting, breaking windows and slashing tires and it's all Mexican Americans. It's not the illegal immigrants out there. There might be a few scattered out there, but the most of them are young college kids. But we know what they teach in these colleges, y'all, and they're big time democratic states that this is happening. There's protests where I'm at, but they're peaceful, y'all. They're not crazy like that. Like, they're probably not even this much people out there in the downtown out here, because out here there's ICE catching people walking out of the depot or the immigration court. They're out there waiting for them in unmarked cars, waiting for them to come out. They go grab them. So there's protests. Like, you would think these riots would be happening out here, but it's like these democratic states, democratic cities like LA, Phoenix, like these hardcore democratic cities. There's so much division there. There is so much division there. Where I'm at, it's a democratic city, but it's in a Republican state, right? In Texas, but this division isn't here. There's no Mexican flags flying everywhere. There's no, don't tread on me flags. There's no Trump flags out here. There's no, the thin blue line flags out here. There's none of that, y'all. And I'm at the border. I thought I was going to see Mexican flags everywhere. That made me realize that, like, because I've been to all the barbecues, I've seen the Snapchats. I'm not gonna get into that. Never mind. But it's there's none of that. It's just American flags out here, y'all, and we're at the border, y'all. Nothing but American flags out here flying. It's a trip.
Peace. For the whole fucking.
I'm quitting right there. I ain't cleaning this up. I'm done. No 2 weeks, nothing.
How
does the water cycle point us to the gospel?
Yeah, if you ever think about the water cycle, it's pretty weird. Like, why would the creator, designer of the universe build the water cycle in nature, right? Like, it's redemptive. It's kind of a cool thing, but why not just water on the ground stays on the ground? It always is what it is. Like, instead, it does this cycle. And I think there's a cool story in that. Like, if we left here and we went to some random parking lot and there was a puddle, you would never drink the water out of the puddle because it's filled with dirt and who knows what, and the bottom of their shoes and everything else. You wouldn't want to drink it because it's polluted. But how does God interact with that water? Well, there are rays that come down from the heavens that hit the water that then pull the waters up. They go to the heavens. They're purified. And now when that same water that was once so polluted on the earth has gone to the heavens and then comes back down to the earth, which is, by the way, the story of redemption, how does it come back down to the earth? You'd go outside and open your mouth and you drink the rain with no problem because that is purified. Why would God build a cycle that is telling the story of redemption in the way that water works? It's redeemed in a sense. It's resurrected to newness of life.
The girl that went.
I just want to say about that other clip about the flags. If you have the flags, I'm not against them. I'm not. You're free. I believe you are free to put whatever you want, on your car, in your front yard, whatever. I'm not talking down on that. But at the end of the day, those flags, they do cause division, right? People see them and they feel some type of way. So that in a way causes division. So that's what I meant by like, I don't see that where I'm at now, y'all. I'm not going to get into a big rant about it, but I don't want people to get upset like, hey, I have this flag. What do you mean you can't have it? I'm not saying you can't have it, right? I'm support whatever you want to put in your car. I don't care, y'all. People get mad at me because I wear Carhartt shirts. What you eat does not make me, you know what, right? So I don't give a damn what you have in your yard. I don't care, whatever. You can have whatever in your yard. It ain't gonna bother me. But I'm just saying it does cause division, y'all. People see it, they feel a type of way. That's division.
For mocking men's mental health has now deleted all of her social medias.
Like
so
this.
In her video, she says, me, when it's time to take a moment of silence for men's mental health. And she is screaming throughout the entire video, meaning she doesn't care at all about men's mental health. And she received so much backlash that she went ahead and deleted every single social media that she has.
Stand on it.
It became so bad that she deleted her entire TikTok, her entire Instagram, and everyone found out who her friends and family were and started messaging them, trying to get in touch with that girl. This is that girl's sister right here, who even made a post saying that she has nothing to do with it, and she really hasn't even seen the video. People were commenting, no disrespect to you or your family, but please get your sister under control, to which she responded, she deleted her entire social media presence, so I'd say she's under control now. And like this person said, you are fine. It'll pass for you, but I'm sorry we received these messages. Your sister, however, will have this issue for a very long time.
Okay, the thing squiggles in through the eye. Now that man's name is Donald Marshall. How many of you have heard of him before? There's a spiral around the optic nerve all the way to a certain point, and it's driven there by taste. And they've said once it gets there, it has the taste of butterscotch, and then it does a feeling like holding your breath and going, oh look, it's the Pope and Boy George and other people, all with a black eye. Isn't that coincidental? Since consciousness is gone, the body is absolutely, totally dominated. So somebody tell me why all of these celebrities, every single person that we've watched or listened to growing up throughout our whole lives, why have they all ended up with black eyes? And it's not just one-time things either. You don't just have a black eye once either, do they? So can somebody just fill me in? What is all the black eyes for? Why did they all have a black eye? Simon Cowell, Robert Downey Jr., Richard Branson, all of these people with a black eye.
One thing I'll tell you about prison systems is the people they eat are child predators.
Yes.
And he was going to get eaten.
Well known. Yeah. And they probably wouldn't have protected.
Here's Cash Patel talking about why they can't put the Epstein stuff out because it will re-victimize the women.
We're not going to re-victimize women.
What?
We're not going to put that shit back out there. It's not happening because then he wins. Not doing it.
Hold on. Stop that for a minute.
Who wins?
The craziest thing I've ever heard. Why wouldn't you just blur the victim?
If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies.
But there is.
And I'm in charge. Don't you think you'd see it?
Yes, but that's why everyone's confused. Pam Bondi said there were videos. She's the attorney general. She goes, there's hundreds of hours of video. That's a quote from Pam. Get the Pam Bondi quote up by the videos. There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn, and there are hundreds of victims. So that's Pam Bondi. Now let's go to Cash Patel, who goes, so if there were things, let's go. Cash Patel, everyone.
If there was a video,
Telling you, I didn't like this dude when I saw it.
If you have access to it.
If I have it, period.
Right.
If I have it.
You got it? Where it is? Where is it?
Where else would it be?
Where is it?
If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have
This
it.
is who's on first. Get up the famous joke, who's on first.
The fellow playing first base for St. Louis. Who? The guy on first base.
Who is on first?
Well, what are you asking me for?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
Now stop that. Now go back to Patel.
Where else would it be?
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So far.
Who's on first?
Everything.
What are you asking me for?
Can somebody explain this magical toy from the 70s?
Gotta hold everybody accountable.
Let me show you what it does. Okay, regular water. An eyedropper. You take some water and you inject it into the hood of the car, like you're fueling it with gas. Give it a second.
That's on a car, y'all.
How is water making this toy car run? How does squirting water into that little hole, into the inner electrical components of this toy, making it actually go? Shouldn't that have the opposite effect? Shouldn't squirting water into an electrical toy render it inoperable? And yes, of course, it requires a battery. But how does water activate the charge given by the battery? And where is this technology now? Because this toy is from like 1979. We had the power to make toys run by water, and we're not utilizing this in 2025, or are we? I don't know. That's what it looks like on the inside. That's where the water goes. This does whatever purpose that is what that does. The rest is magic. It's called a guzzler, in case you want to look it up. Yeah, I know. That name didn't age well, but guzzlers. It came with a little toy gas can instead of using this, but that's been gone since I was like 5. Somebody explain this to me. I don't feel like Googling it, and I'm dumb.
It was the craziest thing. I heard my heart stop from going racing. My heart literally just, it sounded like shutting off an engine. My heart went bup, 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 bup. And on the last beat of my heart, my spirit left my body, and I went up to the roof of the garage, 14, 15, 16 feet. My body was crushed. It hurt so bad. But when I went up on the roof of the garage, I don't have words to describe how good it felt. It was perfect peace. It's like probably the best way I can describe it. And even that is like way lame because that doesn't even cover it. But perfect peace is what I experienced. The Bible talks about peace that surpasses our mental understanding. So I'm looking down and I say it like this. I was having a party by myself in the ceiling. I could see the truck. I could see the accident scene. I could see the guy underneath the truck. I was so disconnected from the accident, I didn't even know that guy was me. So these people are coming in and I'm up in the roof of the garage watching them come in. I'm looking down. I could see Leonard, the guy that I've been working with who had known me since I was young. He's on his knees. He's crying. He's running his fingers through my hair, but I didn't know it was me at the time. And he's apologizing to this guy and he's saying, I'm sorry. I could hear every word he said. He's saying stuff like, I'm sorry. I should be the one that's dead, not you. I'm such an old fool because he hadn't used the safety equipment. You know, whatever. That's the stuff he was saying. And on each side of Leonard was an angel. And I'm basing their height approximately 2 feet taller than Leonard based on just me looking down. They were on their knees just like Leonard was, so I'm guesstimating that they were approximately 8 feet tall. Big guys, very muscular, white shining robes. They didn't have wings. Sometimes in the Bible they have wings, sometimes they don't. But the one from the driver's side, they had really long hair that went way down past the belt on their robe. And the one from the driver's side reached over and he put his hands in the flat spot. And the one from the passenger side reached over and he put his hands in the flat spot. And so I'm just watching from above. And I said to myself, oh, look, the angels down there, and they're down there to help that guy. But I didn't know it was me. And it didn't even seem like a big deal. Strangely, it seemed normal. So I'm just watching it from above. And the angels are touching the guy. And that's when the last 2 people got there. And the lady, her name is Shannon. She moved Leonard out of the way, and she is now down between the angels. She's feeling for a pulse. I'm watching it all from above. I watched as that lady, Shannon, she starts doing this. Bruce Vanetta come back, and she kept getting louder and louder. And all the other people, the other volunteer fire department people, they weren't going to do CPR because I have a massive chest injury. So that's why they didn't do CPR. They just said, let me be. They called Medflight, and then I passed. But she's slapping me in the face, and everybody in the garage, they all are looking at her like, what are you doing? And she just kept getting more emphatic, louder and louder, come back. Bruce Vanetta, come back. And the only way I can describe it is that every time she said Bruce Vanetta, I would not have said it was my name. Not even close. The only thing I could say was, and this sounds really weird, but it sounded familiar. Is the only way I could say it. And she kept saying it, and my spirit began creeping down from the ceiling. And when I got about half the way, my spirit came back in really super fast, it seemed like, and it seemed like it came in through the top, through my head. And when my spirit came back in my body, my heart started. No CPR, no medicine, no nothing. My heart started, my eyes pop open, and I'm looking at this lady. And the first thing that hit me was, when I came back in, was this horrible, horrible pain. Because like I said, I felt perfect in the ceiling. So now I'm back inside my body in this horrible pain. And I remember saying literally, oh no, I'm the guy under the truck, it's me. And it hurt so bad, And I just said to myself, I guess, I just said, I don't want it. I don't want this. It hurts too bad. And when I said, I don't want this, my heart stopped. My spirit left my body. I went back up to the roof of the garage. But this time, a tunnel opened up like some people have a near-death experience or out-of-body experience. They see a tunnel with a light on the end of it. And it was going up like at a 45-degree angle. It was like 1,000,000 miles long, and there was a bright light on the end of the tunnel. And I knew that I knew heaven was on the end of that tunnel.
Before you decide to have a baby and want to come up with a name, you might want to look at this list because they just banned certain names you can't have in the U.S. These are the baby names that are now illegal in the U.S., as you can see. I don't know who would want to name their baby that, but okay.
Nutella?
Even that. And what the fuck is that? Now, the first two names on the list, King and Queen, why can't I name my son a King, or why can't I name my daughter Queen? Am I missing something? So according to the courts, they said those names are too powerful, are too religious, or just a title rather than a name. But that's my child. I should be able to name my child whatever I want to name my child.
Even if you want to do the AH, it's your child.
I feel like them trying to ban names is just the beginning. Trying to tell people what they can and cannot do. Like, they trying to take away all the power. Just starting with the names, y'all. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments. This shit crazy, fool.
The CIA, they really love it when a new president is elected and he has no background in intelligence or foreign policy. Barack Obama, no experience in foreign policy, no experience in intelligence. The day after an election, the director of the CIA authorizes a president-elect to begin receiving a PDB, a President's Daily Brief. And so the day after the election, they go with this 16-page document and they say, Mr. President-elect, wait till you see the cool things we're doing all around the world. And they've sucked him in. They made him one of the guys. And then we get the feedback at the CIA. Oh, the president loved this. The president had a follow-up question on that. Oh, the president said, oh my God, when he read this.
It almost sounds like you're psychologically profiling the president.
Oh, I think that's exactly what they do.
And so they use the tools that they have employed for decades to subvert foreign governments to subvert their own government.
When the second sun come back, there will be no more nighttime. We never had a nighttime. We only experience nighttime because the second sun is gone. And what we think is a sunset is not a sunset. That's actually the sun just moving down to the other parts of the land, of the planet. Remember, it's way more land on this planet that they haven't told us about, class. So what we was taught in school was the sunset was a complete lie when they taught us that. No, what we think is the sunset is merely the sun rotating down to the other parts of the earth that we, or if you want to call it that we have been cut off from with these ice walls in Antarctica, all right? But when that second sun returns, it's going to start getting to the point once the second sun comes where y'all ain't going to see no more night times. The darkest it's going to get is going to look like a sunset when the sky be like that purplish. That's as dark as it's going to get. Other than that, it's going to always be bright day. That's not, our planet never went to a jet black. Never. It was never like that originally before they landed. right? But when they push that second sun out of our atmosphere, all right, that's what made it like that. Nighttime is not natural to our atmosphere, y'all. It's finna blow. It's finna fuck some people up when y'all see no more nighttime soon. So it's crazy because even winter, we will not experience winters anymore. They only can exist, these humans, and their cold-blooded reptilian shapeshifter friends in cold weather climates. Because where they come from, it's cold. It's a frozen planet.
Don't run. You guys want the smoke? Bring it to them. If you're going to do it, don't just throw a rock and run. When you see the cops, go at it. If you're going to do it. It's annoying, y'all. They're just out there to cause trouble. That's it. They don't care about nothing. They don't care about these rights or what's going on. They don't care about that. They just care about starting trouble, stealing some stuff.
Look, they're all getting back. Look. Look. I got out of the way. Oh, shit. Just in time. I got a little bit of it.
Real talk, like, I'm tired of old people. Yeah. They should not serve in our government. You old motherfuckers are ruining the world for everybody else, and you're going to be dead in 2, 3 years, 5 years. Everybody should be tired of these people. They want regular people to retire at 65, but these people are serving in office in their 80s.
That's not right, man.
No, it's absurd. Because the reason these people have stayed in their positions of power and gotten their wealth and their fame and all these things is because regular Americans have been out here either trying to build their lives or struggling to survive. We've taken our eye off the ball, which has allowed these people to destroy everything great about America.
These keep me awake at night, not for the reason that you would think. In the ancient world, you have stone circles and dolmens on every continent globally. That doesn't get me. 3 different people build the same pyramids using the same architectural style over long distances and vast amounts of time. And they also mummify their people, which we have scanned and confirmed and found some weird stuff like 3 toes and elongated heads with larger cranial volumes than we have. Okay. We find an artifact, we x-ray it, turns out it's an ancient computer. We remove the jungle, see what's underneath, and we find the biggest megastructures in the most inhospitable climates ever. That's fine. We attempt to explain how they build this stuff. But when we try and move a rock that is 1/3 the size of this rock, it takes 3 semis pulling a custom-built trailer with 22 axles across perfectly flat land just to drop it so people can walk under it. How they did it, that is just the gateway drug. I want to know, why are they all pretty much the same? So when I was in Egypt, I discovered that this is one of the most prolific symbols in the entire country. It's everywhere. One would think that an icon this important would be very well known. And as a dude from an advanced culture myself, I know a good icon when I see one. The strange part is the God Self icon is not an icon. Culturally, it behaves more like a font. Its meaning is the same, it's just the style that gets changed. Now add that to the flower of life and the swastika, also found all over the world. And you, my friend, are staring down the rabbit hole of who we are and why we got here. Jump down the hole.
Ahí. No, this is not the wall.
Bro, that's the wall.
It's there. Look at that. The wall, right? It's there. Woo-hoo!
That's the wall right there. Finally, we're here. Wow. Qué loca esta.
But it's quite high, yeah?
Yeah, it's way bigger than I thought. It's quite high.
Quite high. So, like today, we just look and try and find the waterfall. So we try and find a way to access ice safely.
imagine this happens when we're there.
We just saw a big piece of ice fall down and it created this huge wave. And you start thinking, what if it's us down there? When we go out, we'll be sometime down there, so scary. That was a big piece. We really need to take a look from close with the small boats. I'm sure we'll find nice waterfalls. Wow.
Or dare. What Disney just did blew my mind. Do you guys remember the story I told you guys about the doctor that died at Disney Springs? It's like a
January.
peanut
Allergy or something, right?
Yeah, peanut or dairy allergy. And they served her something with it. She died at the restaurant. Like, it was like a big deal. And apparently, this guy, the husband, is trying to sue Disney Springs or Raglan Road or whoever because they felt like they were negligent, which is totally fair for a widower. This is bad. This could happen again. But apparently, Disney is in court or whatever. They're having discussions because they say, listen, you've signed something that says you're not allowed to sue us. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. When did I ever sign anything?
Bought
They
them
said,
tickets.
well, in 2019, you signed up for a month of Disney Plus. Shut up! And in that contract says we are not liable for any type of thing. So you cannot bring any type of legal.
No.
like you can't sue us through anything.
This is to go to the Supreme Court.
It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be crazy.
So when you do the accept the terms and conditions,
Yeah.
It's literally like-
saying you can never sue Disney for anything, even on their
Yeah.
own property. If your wife dies,
yes,
yo, Disney, get out of here.
It's crazy.
It's out of control.
What?
That's crazy.
That is a 5G tower. And I've been watching these birds dive bomb it for about 10-15 minutes. Just interesting behavior.
Well, guys, it's happening way earlier than we expected, as AI is now taking over delivery services, specifically Amazon delivery services. We thought would be in 2075 is happening in 2025. Reportedly, Amazon is developing a robot that will be able to deliver door to door, just like the delivery drivers at Amazon. They'll be able to deliver door to door, just like this robot, while also driving an electric vehicle, an AI vehicle. And walk up steps. They'll do it efficiently. We have officially entered into a Black Mirror type world. And I know we've been there, but this right here is insane. And then let's not think about all the jobs that are going to be lost after this becomes a success. I say this all the time, but technology is one of those things that once you figure it out, it becomes easy. Meaning once they get the formula, now it's time to mass produce. Once they get the formula for this to work, it's not going to take dozens of years for them to pull it out. It's going to take literally a year or two. That's the scariest part about technology. Remember in the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4. Now remember when God was speaking in the book of Daniel in chapter 12, verse 4, he said, "But for you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge will be increased." We are seeing knowledge increased on a different level. But here's the thing. Once it increases, that's why it pushes it forward. How long it took to get to the first electric car? And then now look how many is on the road. That's what I'm saying. Once they get the formula, it's OD, it's over with. This is scary times, and I'm telling you, AI is they're about to take over. Remember, Elon Musk said by 2040, which is only 15 years from now, robots are going to outnumber humans on the earth. Not in the United States, but in the world.
It's like I don't use bleach in my house.
Why?
Because it's a thyroid disruptor. Even the British Thyroid Association says if you've got a thyroid issue, you can have a look online, NHS, avoid bleach, using bleach, because it affects your thyroid. So I've got a little girl living at my house who is my child, and I do not want her to have a thyroid issue if I can help it.
So bleach, I always put them in my toilets. My mum came the other day, put it in my sink because she was like, "You need to put bleach in it." And also, someone came around and put them in my flower pot because apparently bleach is good to preserve flowers.
Oh, so 2 of the professional careers of people that have the worst fertility are cleaners and hairdressers. What do they both use?
Oh my God.
Bleach.
I put bleach in my hair though.
It's okay if you put it on your hair, but not on your scalp.
Yeah, I don't put it on my scalp.
Yeah, but on your hair isn't as bad because it's already dead by then.
I can't be the only one who sees that if we stay on this track as a country, that within the next 12 months, we're going to see the absolute decimation of the entry-level white-collar economy, right? I can't be the only one that sees that AI has already put coders, data scientists, website builders on the back burner, and we're quickly seeing a world where even things like paralegals, CNAs, administrative work, marketers that are just completely out of date now in comparison to the instantaneous 24/7 doesn't require payroll worker that is now AI. How many kids are sitting in their 3rd or 5th year of college getting their degree in their specific niche, knowing now that AI more than likely is not just going to be a competitive factor in their job market, but may outright replace them, if not already, soon. Even gig economy things like, let's talk about content creation. Do you understand how much content is going to be going out? How many creators are going to be AI backed, AI infused, AI optimized to pump out so much content at a corporate level that we're going to lose trust in new faces and new voices. You're going to see a new creator pop up and you're going to think, is this AI? Is this person real? We're going to cling to the creators we know, and the creator space, the content creator space, is going to become so much more competitive with optimal content. I watched an AI gorilla do a vlog from a forest, and it was good. And it was completely built by AI. AI podcasts, AI creators, AI content streams, AI job markets. We're going to be not just influenced, we are going to be infiltrated by AI. And within the next year, within the next 12 months, save this, rub it in my face if I'm wrong, but in the next 12 months, we are going to see the death of the entry-level white-collar economy. Anything involves a computer, anything that involves a screen, if it helps generate your revenue, you need to start looking in the eye the technology that is coming up, because it is going to alter things so dramatically, and we're not having these conversations when we already have a struggling middle class, when we already have a wage problem, when we already have a systemic issue that is rooted in a power and lust for money issue. At a corporate and political level, a power and money issue that has bled into where we're at today, a space race for the best AI, and all it's going to do is displace the middle class even further from having a potential route to success by completely decimating the out-of-college entry-level position in the white-collar economy. We all just need to become plumbers and electricians.
Well spoken, y'all. Well spoken. Because overnight, it seems, since that update, that Google update they did, I am having a hard time when I'm finding these clips deciphering what's AI and what's not. That's how good it got. It seems like just overnight. I used to be able to tell. You can tell by the voice. There was no emotion. There was no facial like emotion when you talk, right? There was none of that. It was just flat. Now it is hard. Like I'm sure we got some clips in today's video that I didn't even know, and it's AI. Like it's getting hard to decipher now. I used to be able to pick it up quick. Now I don't really. I honestly can't really pick it up no more.
At an alcoholic I was. So to get everybody off my back, I was like, all right, I tell you what, I'll quit drinking for a year just so you guys will know that I don't have a problem. So I white knuckled it for a year, and I got at the end of a year and I said, I tell you what, I'll throw an extra 6 months on it so I don't ever have to hear y'all talk about the way I drink. Like that is some like next level matrix alcoholism, to elbow yourself out space to really get to it the way you want to. I literally went totally ballistic, and it did not take 6 months for me to be so bad off that I had to make the choice between living or dying. That is such a common storyline. Like I thought I was so unique. I got to rehab, told them my dramatic plan about this guy sitting next to me goes, yeah, welcome to the club. And everybody in the room was like, yeah, that's where it goes. That's how this ends. And I was like, wait, everybody? And they were like, nah, welcome to rehab, you know? And I was like, wow. Oh. And that began the journey of getting rid of the ego and learning about acceptance and balance and being able to say no and all of the things that I needed to be a good human and a good father.
Apparently, Beyonce kidnapped and blackballed Sia. When was the last time you heard about Sia? Never.
Very time ago. But she was #1 on radio for a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Until this. So in 2016, she puts out a random tweet. Yeah. Like, no correlation. It's one of those ones where it's like eggs, bacon, grease.
Oh, it's a code.
Yeah, it's code. It's code. I'll show you the code, bro. Yeah. It says, baby, everything your own nice cat eats, period. Kangaroo is dead. Nowhere and purple penguins every day. My egg.
What the fuck?
Yeah. You take every single letter of the first word and it spells Beyonce kidnapped me.
No way!
Look at this.
No
look at this.
way!
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh my god! It really Beyonce.
In one of the interviews when Beyonce was talking about Sia, look what she said.
No, she's never done an interview. I don't know if she ever will, because I don't really think I would like her interview.
No, I don't think I really would want her to be in an interview.
Did she win a Grammy, but didn't thank Beyonce?
I don't think so.
She might have. Maybe that's the reason she got
Why do people give these people so much damn power?
These things happened. Alex and Donna Voutsinas were looking through their old photos to put in their wedding video. They found one where Donna was a kid in 1980 visiting Disney World. They looked closer at the photo. In the background was Donna's husband, Alex, as a child, being pushed in a stroller. The odds of getting hit by a meteor are 1 in a trillion. When a meteor crashed into a home in Paris in 2011, the press rushed over to check on them. They were fine. Their name was Comet. World War I broke out after Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated in his car. The license plate of the car was A111118. World War I started on November 11th, 1918. This one's nuts. In 1975, a 17-year-old boy was killed riding a moped. Exactly 1 year after that, his 17-year-old brother was killed on the same moped, in the same intersection, and hit by the same taxi, driven by the same taxi driver. They were also carrying the same passenger. 21,000 people worked on the Hoover Dam. 96 of them were killed. The first was J.G. Tierney, who drowned. The last person killed was Tierney's son, Patrick, who died 14 years later, both on the same day, December 20th. Violet Jessup was nicknamed Miss Unsinkable. She worked on the Titanic, which sunk in 1912. She worked on the Britannic, which sunk in 1916. And she worked on the Olympic, which crashed. All 3 ships were from the White Star Line. The Civil War broke out in 1861 on a farm owned by Wilmer McLean. After the battle, McLean moved his family away for safety. 4 years later, Robert E. Lee surrendered to General Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. The generals then signed the documents in the parlor of the closest house, owned by the same Wilmer McLean. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, founding fathers. At first friends, then bitter rivals, and then friends again. They both died a few hours apart in 1826, on the 4th of July, the 50th anniversary of American independence.
India is about to attempt the impossible. They are finally going to try and count their population. And I say finally because they were supposed to do it back in 2021, but they have continuously delayed it. And honestly, I don't blame them. Because conducting a census in India is arguably the most logistically complicated task in the world. Not only do they have to count an estimated 1.4 billion people, that's almost 20% of the entire world's population, but it's gonna cost nearly $500 million to do so. And for example, in 2011, they had to have almost 2.7 million officials just to conduct the census. That's the population of a small country on its own. So keep India in your prayers, because they're gonna need it.
Is it true that you actually lived at the facility?
Yes, I wasn't
You lived at the
spending no
stadium.
money. Why am
That's
I spending
true.
my-
Like
You
Baker
slept
Mayfield
there.
in the commercials.
Yeah.
You were like real life.
Why? I didn't understand. I'm coming from college. I come from nothing.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I make it to the NFL, and everything where I'm playing at my job has everything I need. So why am I buying a house?
You're right,
Why am
right.
I getting a condo? And everything is right here. It made no sense.
They got Uncrustables.
Cafeteria, shower, work is right there. Just wake up in the morning. Food, players lounge, the couch.
Dude, the
Huge.
couch on the players lounge?
Oh, dude.
So you want to live in the facility. How did the conversation go when Marvin Lewis was like, you can't
Well,
live here anymore?
They didn't know, but by the time we got to my 3rd year, he made me, you can't do this. You have to be a man. You have to take care of responsibilities. You have family, you have kids. When they come in town, where they're gonna go? And that's to the hotel. That's what I told. That's what I told them.
They sleep in the training room.
Yeah. I thought I was taking advantage of a situation that was good, But Marvin was like, after when we got to year 3, he was like, you can't do it anymore.
This is no bullshit.
Dead ass.
Did you know that the CIA owned over 250 different media outlets in the 1960s and spent what today would be around $1 billion spreading information? To this day, the CIA directly communicates with Hollywood studio heads on what to influence the American people with. Those emails were actually released to the public via WikiLeaks. The CIA even helped Walt Disney acquire the swampland where Disney World now sits. A report also found that dozens of ex-CIA agents now work for Google. Are we really surprised that Google manipulates the algorithm to only show you certain search results? Former CIA Director William Colby said that the CIA owns anyone of any significance in the major media. And former CIA Director William J. Casey said, quote, "We will know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false." I would encourage you not to make the mistake of thinking that the shows and the movies coming out of Hollywood are original ideas, and it's just culture, it's just trends, because culture is being manufactured by people at the highest levels for a specific purpose. Your search results are being manipulated to cause you to think a certain way. The mainstream media, whether it's Fox or CNN, they are all given scripts to cause you to think a certain way. Don't be manipulated.
Sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
All right, listen to this. On the morning of 9/11, the Carlyle Group, a private equity firm, held its annual investor meeting at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Washington, D.C. Members in attendance that day included former President George H.W. Bush, who was the senior advisor for the Carlyle Group at the time, James Baker, former Secretary of State, and Frank Carlucci, former Secretary of Defense. Also in attendance that day was the claimed guest of honor, Shafiq bin Laden, the older half-brother of Osama bin Laden. Shafiq bin Laden was there representing the Saudi bin Laden Group fortune, which had invested approximately $2 million into the Carlyle Group. As the conference unfolded, the attacks on the World Trade Center and Pentagon took place, which naturally cut the conference short. George H.W. Bush had reportedly left the conference a little while before the attacks occurred. 1 month later, the bin Laden family completely liquidated their holdings in the Carlyle Group. Now fast forward just a little past 9/11 and you will see the United States has very much increased its defense budget. With the increase to the defense budget, the United States began making more purchases from defense contractors, including contractors such as United Defense Industries. Now here's the issue. United Defense Industries was owned at the time by who you can probably guess at this point, the Carlyle Group. So to summarize, George H.W. Bush was the senior advisor for the Carlyle Group. The Carlyle Group owned United Defense Industries, and George Bush gave government contracts to United Defense Industries. So that leaves the question, do you believe in coincidences and how much?
The new Pope's American. Yeah. From the Midwest. Do you know him?
A little bit. We grew up about a 25-minute drive from each other. He's about 4 years older than I am, so we're around the same age. He would have come of age as an Augustinian, which meant he was in the order side of things. I came of age as a diocesan priest, so we didn't really share an educational background. I came to know him a little bit at the last 2 synods. So the last 2 Octobers, under Pope Francis, we had these synods, a gathering of about 400 people, 300 bishops, about 100 lay people, to talk about a lot of important issues. So for 2 Octobers, the current Pope and I were both at the synod. So in that capacity, I saw him. I talked to him a couple of times. He's a very quiet man, very kind of reserved. We talked a little bit about Chicago, a shared background there. I was never at a table with him at the synod, but I know someone who was, and he said he was by far the quietest guy at the table.
One thing that I've discovered is the black sheep of the family always, if they keep getting back up again, turns out to be the goat.
Wow.
Stop taking constructive criticism from people that have never constructed anything that you've walked through.
Bitch. Y'all hear Machine Gun Kelly just told Aiden Ross? Remember I told y'all about the whole vampire thing, staying young, all that? Listen to what he says right here, man. You tell me what this means, okay?
Look, it's the same as when I was 19.
Yeah, how do you look so young? What's your secret? What's your secret?
Like that blush. That blush.
Let's not forget this 2022 article right here. MGK says he and Megan Fox will get married once they find a Gothic venue. They can build them a red river for the wedding. Let's not forget, dude, she talks about, I guess, to drink each other is like, that's what her and MGK do, man. Like, it's just something they do, and they enjoy doing it. So, hey, If that's what y'all like doing, then y'all go right ahead. I mean, they say Megan, you know, she's like a witch, whatever. Like, who knows what he would have looked like or been like if it wasn't for me. Like, she talks about how she manifested and this and that and this and that. And they do all that. And she even says for ritual purposes, like, yeah, y'all think on that one, man, and let me know.
The world is a complex and dangerous place. America is not the only force in it. And AI is every bit as dangerous and disruptive as nuclear bombs ever were. And we do want our country to be at the forefront of those innovations, lest a truly evil country get ahead and figure out Lord knows what. A similar argument can be made for surveillance. If these guys have their way, then yes, there will probably be far less crime. Give it 5 years and they'll be floating the idea that we should outlaw humans driving cars. Because robots never ever crash anymore, and all car accidents are caused by us, human error. 1984 will be sold to us with promises of safety and comfort, because that's what it will deliver. The world is incredibly safe when you have no freedom and no risk, and everything around you is a simple, boring, controlled existence. Comfort and security is how just about everything you buy today is marketed to you. The American dream has been perverted by profits to no longer mean hard work and the freedom to forge your own path, and now it equates to a big TV and holidays and weekends off work. My point is it worth it? What would you trade for your freedom?
Oh, Tucker, I was in prison with this poor guy. He and a couple of buddies were in a bar one day in Cleveland. This other guy was there drinking with them, and he said, hey, you know what would be fun? We should blow up the Route 82 bridge. And they were saying, they were drunk. They said, yeah, that would be so much fun. I'll get the explosives. Well, he's an FBI informant. The FBI gives inert explosives. These idiots go out to the Route 82 bridge and try to blow it up. It doesn't blow up. And then the FBI comes out from behind the bushes. They got 20, 25, and 30 years in prison.
Why were they targeted?
Because this is how FBI agents get promoted. They don't get promoted by not arresting you. They get promoted by arresting you and heaping charges on you so that eventually you go bankrupt and you give up, and then they say, okay, here's the deal. We'll drop all the charges but one. You take a guilty plea to a felony, and then you do, 2 years or whatever. But these guys went to trial because they said, no, well, it wasn't our idea. It wasn't our explosives. It was the FBI's explosives. And it was the FBI's guy that talked us into doing it. We were just having drinks that night. We weren't going to blow up a bridge, but that's how they get ahead in Washington.
They're targeting American
Terrorists.
citizens for destruction.
Sure. That's what they do.
Like, you should get 30 years. I don't care if it was the FBI's bombs and the FBI set you up. You freaking went to blow. Like, what kind of drinking buddies do you have, right? My drinking buddies I would have back in the day, like, hey, let's go take a risk and let's go get some damn Jack in the Box, y'all. Let's go, let's go get some. That was my risks, right? These people are like, let's go blow up a bridge. That's crazy.
Good morning,
Hey, guys.
Michelle. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
This is classic.
Well, obviously we're getting a nice break from the rain, but not the flooding. This is essentially now a part of the Passaic River in this neighborhood. It rushed in yesterday through the streets, and it's really tough to control a canoe or a boat when you're out in it.
That's a big meteor.
Well, that's a fucking nuke.
No, that's a meteor. Dude, I've never seen one go that long, ever.
That's what she said.
Wow, look at that shit.
It's a meteor.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, look at how long it is. Hey, that's gonna be a pretty big fucking meteor.
It's gonna hit Area 51. Holy smokes. That's one big meteor.
Things you see in the wilderness, y'all. They're out there camping, obviously.
Oh, shit.
I wish Mama Bear liked camping.
He's gonna hit Napomo.
I'll take a cabin, though. I'll take a cabin.
There he goes. It's dying out. Look, it's finally dying out.
My boy gets older, you got to take him camping, right? Got to experience it. I know I did.
It's going south.
There it is. It died out.
Different country. No, really, you are.
Little badass kid.
You can't come back. Why would you do that? You can't.
Afghanistan used to be a net food exporter. And as soon as the U.S. takes over, they're producing 93% of the world's heroin.
That's right.
I'd like to know how the fuck that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to tell me.
Pat Tillman.
So I get to Bagram Air
all
Base,
that.
and I said, I'm going to need a helicopter to Lashkar Gah. They were like, oh, can't do it. Too dangerous. I was like, no, we're doing it, like, in the next hour. So we get down there, and it's a god-awful place. But, man, I'm telling you, as far as your eye can see, all there is poppy. All of it is poppy. So I said, I want to talk to a poppy farmer. They were like, are you nuts? And I said, no, I'm serious.
Oh, man, the crazy shit in jail now, they making Glock dookies. What? A Glock dookie. Take a water bottle, and then you just fill it up with piss, shit, with any kind of fucking body fluid you can, and you just let it sit, and you just let it chill in your room and shit. Anytime you got some beef, you pull it out, and you just spray a motherfucker with that shit. It's so many videos you could just watch of motherfuckers fighting with the Glock dookies. And they say this shit is crazy. It'll clear the whole flow once that shit gets sprayed.
Oh, dude.
So somebody spray you in the face. You ain't fighting no more. They just spraying Glock dookies at each other.
Oh, fuck.
Danny Brown. I like Danny Brown.
Just ruined my day.
Yeah, the Glock dookie.
The Glock
Yeah,
dookie.
imagine somebody hit you with the Glock dookie, man. Your whole week fucked up.
I promise I'm not getting you a Glock dookie.
The Glock dookie worse than the real good. I'd rather let it shoot me than hit me with the Glock dookie.
Same, please. Put 3 in me. Put fucking holes in me,
not the
dude.
Glock dookie. That shit. And then it's like, bacteria and all that shit. You're going to get sick, some rashes or something,
The Glock dookie. Look at this, y'all. Crazy. It's happening over regular houses.
Oh my God.
Wow. Crazy ass dude, man. That's crazy.
Aquafina water. There you go, Aquafina. A lot of that shit too.
What is this?
Bad water. Woo! Don't fuck with it, I'm telling you. Take my advice. For real.
6-year-old pastor at New River Bible found murdered in his Calvary Road home Monday night.
Crazy.
Initial call on Monday, but multiple sources are confirming to Fox 10 some disturbing details as to how the body of the man was found.
And Fox 10's Lauren Clark has been following this story. She joins us live now with what we can confirm. Lauren.
Well, Mark and Ellen, these details certainly are disturbing, and as a reporter, it's upsetting to share these types of details with you, but multiple sources have confirmed that Bill was found in his bed, his arms spread out, and his hands pinned to the wall. Now, MCSO is not sharing a lot of details in this case. They have not told this community if there could be a suspect on the loose. They've also not shared any type of information about a motive or why. They've only said that there are special and unique circumstances surrounding this case. But now, a lot of people who live here in New River, who knew Bill and loved him, they want to reflect more about his life.
So what you're saying is we're never gonna know. No one's ever gonna be caught, pretty much. But there you have today's video, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Got a call while I was doing this video. It'll be edited out, of course, but it broke my damn heart. I bought a Weber grill, right? I bought a nice Weber. They told me we'll assemble it. It'll be ready for pickup today. They call me. It's not gonna be assembled. Assemblers don't get here till Friday, next Friday. We'll be able to put it together then. So I canceled the order, y'all. I was gonna have a nice Weber. Starting the video, I thought I was gonna cook me a nice steak today on a Weber. End of the video, that happened, y'all. But I'll go to Lowe's. I won't do business with Home Depot no more. I'll go to Lowe's and I can just put it together myself. It was just Sunday, but I'll do it on Friday. Just a whole headache, y'all. Just a whole headache how these people do, how they're not on the same page as online. That's why this AI stuff, it's not on the same page yet, y'all. Like, the online says it'll be ready for pickup at the store. They're not here till Friday to put it together. They're not on the same page, y'all. Will it ever get on the same page? I don't know. But that don't get too scared with this AI stuff, y'all, because they're not there yet. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do anyways. I got a good grill. Not the best grill, but it's good enough, y'all. But anyways, a little upset, a little ticked off. Hope everyone out there has a good Sunday, y'all. This is Segovia signing out of the Man Cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Later.